everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jo. I am Belushi Stitches here on Flosstube and also over on Instagram. If you're new here, thank you very much for stopping by, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. This is a WIP Parade. This is a WIP Parade today, and I'm a little bit late in comparison to others. A lot of people tend to put their WIP Parades out in December or the Christmas holiday, New Year period, January, early January. But considering my WIP Parade didn't go up until April last year, I think I'm doing pretty well. Although if it takes me 4 months to edit it, I'll see you in April. But this is my WIP Parade number 2, and let's go. So the first one I'm going to show you today is Adventure Awaits. It's a stitch along that Emma and I hosted last year sometime, yeah, between I think April and August. We were going to do it in parts. Emma just smashed through it and I got stuck on the fact that I think it's 32 count and I'm stitching 1 over 1 accidentally. I'll go into that in a minute. But it looks like this, or it will look like this. Where are you? There you are. Sorry for any reflection or glare. It will look like this. It's really sweet. Yeah, I bought some fabric thinking it was 28 count. My camera's gonna auto sort out the light in a minute. Yeah, so I bought this thinking it was 28 count. It was sold as 28 count, and when it came in, I think it's actually 32 count. So it's tricky. 1 over 1 is tricky on it, but actually getting the hang of it now and focusing solely on it. This is why this is the first one to show you today, because it's my active current WIP, and I'm just going to keep going on it until I finish. This is where I am so far, and just before I start showing you things, I haven't ironed anything. That doesn't happen until after, if at all. Here you go. So this is where I am so far. No idea on percentage and things, but yeah, it's just absolutely, absolutely tiny. I know you can see the light through it. Apologies, but yeah, how close can we go? Pretty close. I've done all of this section in the last couple of weeks. Down here, and it's really hard to see the white of the opera house there on the light fabric that I've chosen, so I may go around and backstitch some bits afterwards around the white or around the mountains, the kind of the tops of the mountains you can't really see hugely well. But yes, there I am, and this is my current WIP that I'm just working on until I finish it. Okay, my next WIP is Coffee Drinker's Confession by Heartstring Samplery. Coffee Drinker's Confession. The Magical Elixir Series number 5, Heartstring Samplery, designed by Beth Twist, and it looks like this. Yeah. I don't have a problem with coffee. I have a problem without coffee. How true, how true. Okay. And I've got a very small start on this one, but a start is a start. You're going to hear me say that a lot today. Here we go. Is it this way around? No. I think you'll hear that as well. It's this way around. It's this way round, and those are the berries that are in the kind of vase of flowers. So I guess maybe they're flowers in the vase of flowers. I don't know. Yeah, this is 40 count frozen fabric, and I started that one along with Kelly from Animal Instinct Animal Stitches. I was very kindly gifted that pattern as a giveaway win from Morgan Honeybee Stitcher, and when Morgan showed her finished piece recently, Kelly and I both were like, oh, I've got that one, let's start it. So we did. Okay, my next WIP is Love by Dany Lizeth, which is kitted and charted by Gecko Rouge. It's this one. Just love it. So good job it's called Love. I call it Cat's Love or Cats, I don't know, but it's just beautiful. So this is one of 18 WIPs that I hadn't stitched on in 2022 at all. That's a big number, so I need to rectify that this year. Everything that I didn't stitch on last year, apart from maybe 1 or 2, I'm going to either finish this year or just get on with them. This one is coming back out in February as a bit of a stitch for Kelly, so instead of doing a birthday start, I'm going to do a birthday carry-on. Oh, that sounds wrong. A birthday picking up of an old WIP? I don't know. It'll all make sense later, but anyway, this is where I am so far. This is where I am so far. I love this piece. It's on 18 count Aida. It is full of confetti. Honestly, I've mentioned it every time I show this piece, I say it, so some of you are going to be really bored of this, but it is true. I started in the middle, and right in the middle of the pattern, the noses touch, so I decided that was a perfect place to start, but I can't sew from the middle. My brain just doesn't like it, so I moved all the way along to get to the top leftist bit, which is here. The background isn't stitched on this one, but I have now completed all of this, is filled in right to the bottom, and then of course this bit now I'm working on. So a lot to go. This is the small cat, this is the kitten, but I just absolutely love it. So I'm really excited to get back to this one in February. Yeah, the threads on the Gecko Rouge thread card, I've cut them really short because you honestly can you don't get many stitches in one colour without moving on, apart from that bit, which I always say that and then show that bit and it looks like I'm lying. But anyway, this is this one, and as I said, this is coming back out in February. So the next one is a caterpillar cross stitch piece again called 12 Days of Stitchmas. It is this one. It's on 16 count Aida. I bought the kit. It's really cute. I like it. I did not get very far. I got this far. 5 golden hand. So yeah, this is just one of those ones that I think would be really easy to pick up, and I think had I not been working on a drift and left myself some really such little time in December, this would have been part of my Christmas stitching, so hopefully pick that up again this year. This is another one of the WIPs that I didn't pick up in 2022. So the next one is B by Lorna, Laine. It's kitted and charted by Gecko Rouge. I bought this one as an 18 count kit. You can only buy kits from Gecko Rouge. And I saw this one after Kelly and Morgan both finished theirs, and it just blew me away. Their finished pieces are incredible, so please go and check them out. I didn't get too far. It's absolutely beautiful and I can't wait to get back to it. I got to 3%. So actually I'll just get the picture as well. So where am I? Yeah, so it's this top left corner up here that I've got to. Long way to go, and that's 3%. Absolutely beautiful. It's probably that way around. Absolutely beautiful. Again, lots of colour changes, but you come to expect that with Gecko Rouge. I suppose you expect that with a lot of companies. It gives you the depth and the dimension and the detail later. This looks a bit blocky, I think, at this point at 18 count, but from further away it's going to blend in beautifully. So this is one that I didn't stitch on in 2022, and unfortunately I don't think it's going to be in 2023 either. There's some other Gecko Rouge kits that I want to finish probably before this one, and then concentrate just on this one. I think maybe. Do you see what I did there? Next up is Victorian Charm by Dimensions. It is this one. A lot of people have started this one. I haven't seen many people finish it, I must say, but there's backstitch, blended stitches, there's sort of 2/1 full cross, there's 4/1 tent stitch, backstitch, probably French knots, knowing these, I don't know. And then the majority of this background is left unstitched because they give you 18 count navy Aida with it. I actually got further on with this one than I thought I had. Just trying to work out which way around it is. I think it's this way around. Oh dear, let me get something, hang on. There we go. Yeah, 18 count, navy blue Aida. How close can we go? Yeah, lovely. And then as you can see here, if I stop moving it about, some of the background then is this dark full cross, and then some of the background is tent stitch, with probably more strands to bulk it out a bit. Yeah, I didn't stitch in this one in 2022. If I'm honest, I don't have any intention of stitching on it this year, but it's one of those things that you never know. My next piece is 3 Spheres 2 by Escher, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. There we go. I love the detail in this middle sphere. I think it's just incredible. I'm stitching this one on 18 count Ada. I'll show you where I am now. Okay, this is where I'm up to the first top left sphere. It's 13 colours in this one, so a lot of bulk stitching. The reason I wasn't quite happy is because of these two colours here looked so contrasting. You could really see the difference between them. I think when you, again with all of these things, if you come away a little bit further back you don't notice it as much, but I don't know, I wasn't 100% sure about it, so I did put this one away. I think when I get to the next sphere here, which has got the more detail and chap sat in it, then I think that's going to be really cool. But you can see the reflection when you look at the photo, it's really cool. So in fact I'll do that now. Put it away. Yeah, this is this one. Yeah. This is Robin by Lorna Laine, a Gecko Rouge kit again. Oh, I love this one so much. I had all full intentions on stitching this one and finishing it over the Christmas period. No, I didn't even get any stitches on it at all. I think this is where I am so far. I think I'm about 27%. I'm not going to take it off the thingy. I'm just going to show you where I am. This is 25 count 1/1. I think this is one of the first pieces I picked up 1/1. As you can see, tiny. Again, not a huge amount of block stitching, but I must say that this is confetti hell. It looks beautiful and it's going to look even more beautiful, but it is absolutely just like 2 stitches of the same colour. It's really hard to make, I find it really hard to make progress in this one, but it's just beautiful. This is more blocky and the background is going to be a bit more blocky, so it's fine. But yeah, the leaves and this, all of this in particular. So I'll just show you the back. Oh, I can't really show you properly, but this bit here is so thick. It's about the depth of the needle binder thick, where it's just all of the stitching. There's so much. Can you sort of see it stick up? That is not me like pushing it up, that is just it. And that is that finished? Yeah, that bit is finished. I think this is finished, but then there's more to go, more to go, more to go. Anyway, it's beautiful, and in terms of kind of looking at it against the photo, I mean, some of them don't look like that, do they? Some of them don't look like the photo when you stitch them up. This one is just incredible. So yeah, can't wait to get back to that one. Okay, next up is Astronaut by Unconventional X Stitch, or Unconventional Cross Stitch. I'm stitching this one on 18 count Black Ada. That's the company name. Stitching this one on 18 count Black Ada. What did I just decide to do with this one? Yeah, I started it in the middle. Yeah, that's it, I remember. I started it in the middle. This is another one I didn't stitch on last year. I started it in the middle because I wasn't sure if I was going to stitch the background. I thought it might save me quite a lot of stitches. But actually the background isn't 310. It's like a combination of very dark blues, 310 and some other stuff. So in actual fact I'm going to stitch it all, which meant that I couldn't stitch in the middle, as you know, if you've watched me before and if you watched me earlier on say that. I can't stitch in the middle. So I worked my way up, worked my way to the top left of this bit. I'm going to do this bit, this bit, this bit, come up here and then fill. I want this bit to be the last bit, the colourful section there of the earth reflecting. So I am this far, it falls to the floor. It's this way. So this is showing up really bright. I don't even have a proper light on in front of it, but this is my camera just picks it up straight away. Tries to make things better. But this is what I meant about, you can see that that's blue and black in the background. It's not that bright, you can barely see the blue. Honestly, you really can't see the blue that much. But yeah, it's this, and I think this is his, that's his pack that he's got on the back, and then his visor's going to go here. I think I'm about 27% on this one. Okay, so next up is the Fox, which is part of the first part of the Year in the Woods, A Year in the Woods 12-part series by Cottage Garden Samplings. It's this one, so it's shiny. Really lovely. And I started stitching this one on 36 count Mirage by Picture This Plus. This is where I am so far. A little dinosaur needlewinder. So I didn't get too bad a start on it. The hardest part actually was finding the threads because they just became out of stock immediately. So many people wanted to do this one. I've now got all the threads for all of the parts, 2 lots of the 4 fabrics, and I'm actually going to bring this one back in to January's stitching once I've finished Adventure Awaits. So even though this is a WIP Parade, I just wanted to say that myself and Emma X Stitching are hosting Salathon 2023. If you're finding yourself with lots of sales from last year or older sales that you think I'd like to finish, clear the decks a bit so I don't take them into the rest of 2023, January is a good time to do that. We decided, we've got a couple actually, and I had 2 with stitch alongs with her and then also other stuff. And yeah, I just decided I wanted to clear them, I wanted to get some of these things finished, otherwise they'll just carry on. So we decided to do Salathon 2023. The first one I finished already. The second one I'm working on is Adventure Awaits, which I'm hoping to get a finish on within the week. Another week. And then I'm going to stitch on this one because I also wondered, I mean this is another one of the goals, and I haven't decided whether to do it or not. I suppose it depends how I get on with the fox really, but I did wonder whether I could do a year in the woods this year, starting with the fox in January, which is how it started last year. So I'm thinking of doing that. It's a lot of stitching, and after last year's adrift, kind of every day having a goal and blah blah blah, then I'm not sure if I want to do that again or put that amount of pressure on myself. But I might see how I get on because I don't want them to sit there and languish. Maybe I'll just start with the fox and see how I get on. But if anyone else is stitching them this year in the order that they were in last year, please let me know. Okay, so next up is Dark Queen of the Sea. This is by Autumn Laine Stitchery. It was a stitch along previously where, I think, was it 12 months? I think it was 12 months, yeah, and different parts got released. And then in the 12th part then beading and backstitch got released. But it was kind of a choose your own adventure. So throughout you could choose the hair colour, different types of faces, different types of clothes, bits and pieces. They're doing another one now called Dark Queen of the Earth, which I'm signed on to but haven't got anywhere near started. So this one was a birthday start for me, and I missed my birthday in July, and so I decided to squeeze it in on the 31st of July and make it a birthday month start at about 11 PM. It's this one. Again, sorry it's so bright in the glare. There we go, camera's sorting itself out. Yeah, there's lots of different options and choices on this one. I'm stitching this one on the called for fabric and using the called for floss. Relatively small start. Well, just no relatively about it, a very small start. Half a fish for my birthday. And I must say, this is, what is it, I think 32, I think it's 32 count, is it? Must be 30, yeah, I think it's 32 count. But I have to say the opalescentness of the fabric really hurts my brain eyeballs. I really struggle with it. It's showing very green off to the edges. It's not that green, and it's not that the colours in here look really aggressive. It's not that, they're not that contrasty. But yeah, the opalescence, which you can see shining, is I find that really hard to stitch on. So yeah, that's where I am so far. So next up is Halloween Quaker. This is by Lila's Studio. It's this one. It's really cool. It's so cool. Started this one as part of my October 2020, dropping everything. October 2022 starts with Kelly. It's a small start. Oh, is it that way? Does it matter? No. It's whichever way around it's supposed to be. Yeah, so very small start on, I think, 32 count. I went through a 32 count stage. I've clearly put all my Halloween starts together in a bag because I think you might get a couple of them now. This is the next one, Halloween Crystal Ball by the Tiny Modernist. It's really cute. There we go. Yeah. But it was one a week and thoroughly enjoyed them. Can't wait to get back to all these. Okay, so next up is Needleworker by Little House Needleworks. Here's this one. Really cute. Holding the thread all the way from this needle on one end all the way to the bird on the other. It's really sweet. Started this one on 32 count. Stitching in hand using the sewing method, and I have to say I just couldn't stop. I think this is 400 stitches in one go. I just sat there and just did it. It was really easy to stitch and just lovely. Oh, I just love it already. Can't wait to get back to that one. Oh, I know I'm going to say that a lot today. It is quite fun doing these in no particular order, I have to say. This is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's year-long stitch-along that's currently ongoing. I think part 4 or 5 has been released. 3 or 4? I'm not sure. It's going to look something like this. They're just showing excerpts there of what it's going to look like, and they've got this house as the main bit in the middle of the wreath. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Again, this was a October start with Kelly. I didn't get too far, but further than the others, so I think I'm quite pleased with that. Got this little door ready with a stained glass window. I mean, what more could you want? Isn't it cute though? It's really sweet. Or Pac-Man, maybe, is a Pac-Man window. I don't know. Okay. And my next Halloween start from October is the Haunted Library by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. This is a print off from a certain month. It's finished now and the full thing is properly completed with lots of cool stuff down here and cool stuff here and bits in the shelves and things. It's just brilliant. I bought some glow in the dark floss as well because I saw somebody had done these skulls and other bits and pieces in glow in the dark. Maybe these candles as well, maybe the skeleton. It just looked really cool. So yeah, I bought some glow in the dark fabric floss even. I'm stitching this one on 32 count again. Yes, this way around. This is just 310 at the moment. Again, all my October starts were kind of started really on the Sunday of the weekend. We had one every weekend for 5 weeks and I just didn't get very much done in them. But yeah, again, can't wait to get back to this one. Okay, and the 5th and final October start was Silhouette Witches by Teresa Kogut. It is this one. And I'm stitching this one on 40 count Seraphim bee's knees. There's one strand, 40 count, 2 colours in this one. Though I do have some extra neon green which I might put in. It's just such a cool, I love it. Okay, moving on. I love them all, that's the problem. Again, a very small start on a Sunday evening, top left. How close can we go? Yeah, pretty close. No, yes. That's the witch's hat. Yeah, terrible start, but a start's a start. I've just looked at the next 3 in the box to show you, and they're all Halloween still. I've obviously thoroughly enjoyed myself. This is Dracula's Confession by Lindy Stitches. This one actually comes with 2 patterns in one, so it comes with this vertical design, and then it also comes with the horizontal design, both of which are fabulous. But I saw Kelly stitch this one, and I just wanted what she had, so I've decided to go for this one. Yes, so I went with 40 count Murky on this one. Yeah, the outside of a leaf. It's just terrible. Is that the front? Yeah, that is the that's the front. Yeah, a couple of stitches there. on an... It's one of those things, I think I'm really far along in this one, and then every time I pull it out and go, oh no, no I'm not. Oh yeah, it won't take me long to finish that one. Yes it will, because you barely started it. So yeah, that's one I'm going to have to get on soon. Okay, so the next one is Halloween Candlesticks. It's a Jenny Barton design, and it was put out by Lakeside Needlecraft. They put it out as a 6-part stitch along. I haven't stitched on this one. This might be one I didn't stitch on the whole of last year. It all goes by so quickly. But on this one I got really, really far, and I absolutely loved it. I'm stitching it on 36 count, and I'm doing, I'm going to go back and do all the back stitch, and I've kind of, I'll show you in a minute. I'll tell you in a minute. What was I going to say? This is what it looks like. It's so cool. It is right up my street. Yeah, and I've got, as far as, I've done all of these 3, you'll see in a minute, and then I'm kind of working on this bit down here, which is part 6. I wasn't a huge fan of this little chap here, so I actually kind of worked him out of the design. Sorry. Which is fine. Is it that bit that was fine? Yeah, and then I think I might need to do some sort of magic over here. Maybe. Not sure, can't remember. But yeah, I'll show you now. So on YouTube I found Stitchy Marie, and she's got some really cool Halloween whips and stuff. And she said that she might as well call herself the 95% Stitcher, which I thought was brilliant, because that sounds familiar. I love this one so much, I thought I'd better stop working on it so I could enjoy it later, and I've done that on a few pieces as well. But I know from saying it in previous videos that I'm not the only one that does that. I'm not really much... I know once I finish it I love it, but I then don't actually finish it into something. So it sort of disappears then. Maybe that's it. Anyway, this is where I got to. Love him. Oh, I remember what it was. Yeah. So these funny dots are going to be spiders that hang down. There's some bits in the corners which I might not do because they're not sort of hanging off of anything. It looks a bit weird. The mouse, these all need back stitch. This is where, oops, this is where I've worked out the green monster here. And I think on the part I thought, oh, I had to work this bit out because his hand came over here. So I think I carried on stitching this candlestick and just forgot that there was like another part coming. So I think I just made it up, and then now I think there's supposed to be a bottle here, and I think I might have ballsed this bit up. This one's fine. I just need to go back and sort this bit out, but I think it's fine. I think I can just fudge it if it's not, you know, it's not going to be that bad. But yeah, the cat was cool. And these bits. I did do the back stitching on up here. But yeah, it's so cool. Love it. And actually, when you look at the pattern, the back stitch colour, oh God, there's noises everywhere, sorry. The back stitch actually goes all the way around every single part of the candlestick. The back stitch line is in dark black, and then the actual the 310 stitch is also in black, so you can barely see it, but if you go really close into the PDF, you can see that it's supposed to be backstitched. Every single bit of every candle is backstitched. I don't know anyone that actually did that, but there was a little bit of conversation about it in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in. If you've stitched this one, did you do the backstitch around all the candles or not? It does look cool. I did see somebody had shown a bit of a comparison, and it did look really cool. Where are we? Wrangling. Especially in bits like this, I think. It kind of smooths these candles out because you've kind of gone across these bits here. So I think it might smooth out the turns. But, I mean, would you notice? Would you care? No, not really, if that was hung up on the wall. If it was hung up, like I'm ever going to hang it up on the wall. But yeah, let me know if you did. So before I'd even finished that Halloween Candlesticks one, I went off back to Lakeside Needlecraft to see if they had any patterns that were similar. They did. They had this one. This is called Spooky Halloween by Jareen Jones. Similar vein, couple of colours, and then I guess you can choose the year that you finish it up there. So I started this one, even though I haven't finished the other one. Floss is on a very expensive floss organising floss card. Very, very expensive. Also not, because it's just the card that it came in. And the 2 weeks dye works, I know I haven't shown you threads for any of the others really, but the 2 weeks dye works colours are super bright. Love them. The fabric is called Pumpkin, which is the same fabric that Halloween Candlesticks is on. 36, is it? Yeah, 36 count. And this is where I got to. What are my stitches like on the white? Not too bad. I probably railroaded the white ones to get them a little bit more tidy. And yeah, going down the side took me ages to work out I was actually stitching a bat. I mean, like, I'd already stitched the bat before I realised I'd stitched the bat. Yeah. Excellent. Love this one. Can't wait to get back to it. So the next one is a part of a yearly retreat that's hosted by the Black Needle Society. It's a virtual retreat, so you get sent a box with a pattern and loads of goodies and stuff in it. So it's a retreat in a box. So I attended last year. That was the second of the 4 for this. It's Gilmore Girls related. This one is called. Wait. Oh yeah, the first year was Autumn in Stars Hollow, which is this one. And then the second one was Summer in Stars Hollow, which is the retreat that I attended. And you've got the gazebo here, which you stitch right up against this one. And then you have 4 in a row. You have the 4 seasons going across. I grabbed some fabric. The only fabric, because it's a long, thin piece, the only fabric I had was 40 count. I think I've done this one 2/2 on 40 count. And I didn't like the fabric as soon as I chose it, but it was the only one I had, so I stitched it anyway. I didn't get very far. I really wanted to stitch it in hand, but then I wanted one strand because that's nice and I can stitch in hand and that's quick, but then I also wanted quite a lot of coverage. So I think I've done 2 things at the same time that I shouldn't have done, and now I'm not massively happy about stitching on it. It's really hard to stitch on. So I think I might rip it all out and start again with just one strand. Well, there's not much there, so I might start again. The whole thing, I don't know. Anyway, I won't be seeing it until the next retreat, which is in April, when it's going to be Spring in Stars Hollow. We don't know the pattern for that one. But I have to go somewhere because otherwise I can't stitch on the Spring in Stars Hollow. So if it goes, which way round is it? Summer, autumn. Yeah, so Spring is on, I think autumn's here. Well, autumn's here. That can't be right. Autumn's. I can't remember, but either way I need to get to the edge of either this one or the edge of the other one in order to start the spring one. Next one is Quaker Pumpkins by Hello from Liz Matthews. It is this one. I chose a 40 count for this one and stitching 1 strand in hand. Sewing method, that's what that means. I'll show you where I am. Crinkles. It's going to be quite a big piece, this one. This is where I am so far. Really lovely variegation. And I didn't stitch on this one at all last year. This is one of the many. But definitely ready for winter, autumn, going into Halloween. Really lovely. Bring this one in a minute. Yeah. And if you want to see a finished version of that, check out Morgan from Honeybee Stitcher. She has finished this one. She's also changed the wording slightly. No, not slightly, she's changed the wording at the bottom so it doesn't say All Hallows Eve. She preferred something different, so yeah, go check out her finish because it's wonderful. Okay, the next one is called Disturbed Women. This is by Lucy Beam. I'm just waiting for a big pile of stuff over there to fall over. Okay, I think we're good. I took ages trying to find some good fabric for this one. The call for fabric is from a company that doesn't ship to the UK, I think. So I spent ages scouring all the usual suspects trying to find some fabric. In the end I found some fabric with primitive hair. It's this design. Evaluation Centre for Disturbed Women, Ward B. I have worked in a mental health environment previously, and I work for a mental health organisation now, so this one called to me in a certain way. And actually the fabric, the pattern comes with 2 pieces of A4, which gives you a little bit of history as to the ward potentially, and the reasons why people would have been admitted into them over the years, many years ago. I plan to put that on the back. I actually plan to frame this one, and I plan to put that information on the back, just for information for reading. But yeah, that comes with the pattern. So it's, I actually emailed the designer to ask for that information, or to ask what kind of inspired this piece, or if this was a real ward and that sort of thing. And yeah, that some information does come in with the pattern. Dropped all the floss, but it's all of this lovely good stuff. Really interesting colours, which don't look too bright on the design. So it's on 30 count Ancient Stones by Primitive Hair. And here it is. Fabric looks quite, I don't know, purpley. It's probably slightly less purpley, more grey in real life. But yeah, it does look like stone. It does look like it's just going to be kind of a sign on some stone. So I didn't get too far in this one, but it's not going to take me too long to finish it off. Yeah. Okay, next one to show you is a snail house. For those of you who have seen my videos probably before 2022, I can't remember when the last time was I stitched on this one off the top of my head. Owl Forest Embroidery have brought out snail houses. They brought out 6 so far, and altogether there should be 9 eventually. Emma and I were stitching on them every Saturday, so Snail House Saturday was our hashtag, or Snail House Saturday Sal, whatever it is, I'll put it down below. I was stitching this one, and I started to use a different pattern viewer than the usual one that I use, which is Pattern Keeper. And as lovely and great as it was, and it was really good, and it did show, had some excellent features, I think I just was so used to Pattern Keeper. So I stopped stitching on this one. In February, after our Salathon, I am going to start stitching on this one on Saturdays again. So if you do have any of these, you're welcome to join us. Keep me accountable. But this is this one. Have I done 3? I think I've done 3 so far, and then this one's Grape. It's so cute. And I got as far as all the white bits in the house. 32 count, stitching in hand. The fabric is it's a kit, so the fabric and the floss come with it. It's really cute. And you get the really cool needle minders. They do still sell the kits, but with current times I think it's potentially more tricky to get them and send them across, but they do still sell them. They also sell PDFs via Etsy, but I'm not entirely sure if the snails are included. Might want to check that out. Okay, so I said earlier on that B from Gecko Rouge probably isn't going to be in my stitching in 2023. The reason is because I have some other Gecko Rouge kits I want to do first, and this is one of them that I'm about to show you now. I started this one in February last year for Kelly's birthday. Was it the year before? I think it was last year. This is Mugshot Cat. And the full the full name for this one is, I call it Mugshot Cat, it's not called that. It's called Mugshot of a Cat Felon Arrested While Attempting a New York Bank Heist. I'm going to insert a picture. I'm going to try not to insert very many pictures in this whole video because it takes me ages. But I'm going to insert a picture of my cat, Ripley, who looks very similar to that cat. Yes. So this is one I definitely want to get back to. It's not a big stitch. I don't think it will take me very long. There's probably some confetti in it, but nowhere near as much as some of the others. But this is where I am so far. So again, started in the middle, I just think the day that I started it I was running out of time and I really didn't want to count all the way up. So I started in the middle, yet again remembered I can't stitch from the middle because it just doesn't work for me. So I worked my way all the way up to the top left corner and now I've stitched all of this and now I'm just working my way down. But you can see this is that's the nose and this is the ear and then their eye is somewhere here. But yeah, do go to Kelly's channel to see a finished version of this one. It is absolutely stunning. I just loved it. So yeah, this is one that I definitely want to stitch this year. So while we're on the topic of Gecko Rouge, this is another one that I started recently. It's by Lorna Laine. It's called Winter Peace. It was a limited edition kit a couple of years ago. It's this one. Got the tiniest of starts on it, but again, it doesn't matter. And I really do mean tiniest of starts. This, I think a whole 67 stitches, possibly. My camera gonna pick them up? Yeah. So this is 18 count Ada. And I've just started at the top. Okay, next up is Dinosaur Forest. This is an Owl Forest embroidery kit. In 2021, in December, Emma and I started Dinosaur December. So we were just going to stitch anything dinosaur related in the month of December, which we did, and that was wonderful. This year, I didn't get around to it again. Emma did, and she stormed through this one really well. I didn't pick this one up, and I apologise. I will do better, and I will do it properly next year. For sure. This is Dinosaur Forest. This is a kit. Again, the kit, maybe the pattern on its own, I'm not sure, is still available. It's just really unusual to see dinosaurs and stuff like this. I just absolutely love it. So this was not worked on last year. I'll show you now the progress that I got to, or where I got to, in December 2021 now. I got quite a bit done. Still a lot of dinosaurs left to go, which is wonderful. I'm using the Owl Forest embroidery fabric, 32 count, and also the threads that come with the kit. I really should be putting stuff behind it, sorry. Oh yeah, in fact, that's quite a good thing. So you can see the threads showing between. You just can't stitch some of this stuff without carrying threads, or at least I can't. Let me just see if I can find some bad one. No, that's the worst one actually. The stuff, the lava coming out of the top of the volcano. It doesn't matter, but I will put a board behind it just to show you what it would probably look like if it was ever framed. You just wouldn't see it. You just wouldn't see it. Not gonna lie, this was hard to stitch, mind. Variegated floss, so you're doing one stitch at a time. Pretty tricky. Really love it. Can't wait to get back to this one in December. Okay, so for those of you who watch my most recent Flosstube, you would have seen that I said these are my plans for December, and one of the plans was to stitch this for my dad for Christmas. So I didn't actually do that for Christmas. I realised it was quite an enviable task, so I decided to give it a miss. I'll definitely stitch it for him, but it just wasn't for Christmas. But don't worry, I got him some lovely things instead. This is where I am so far. Except that's the back. Let's try that again. This is where I am so far. So some of the mug, the word cappuccino is starting to come out. It's on 14 count perforated paper, as a lot of these mill hills are, and 3 strands. 3 strands for mill hills. Well, not all these mill hills. So yeah, literally mid-stitch. And I realised something that I now would do, which would make things much easier, is put some washi tape or just some sort of tape along here, because these are cut. You can see the edges are kind of cut out, so the thread gets caught in them all the time. It's a nightmare. So yeah, I would just put some tape around there now. In fact, I'm going to leave that one out and make it Mill Hill Monday. So this is my oldest WIP. I have absolutely no idea what it's called, no idea who the designer is. I put a call out, I think, on 1 or 2 of my Flosstubes previously saying if you know what this is or who it is or probably who the artwork is by, to let me know. I have absolutely no idea. It's stitched on some kind of really unpleasant linen. This would have been my first go at linen. It's so crinkly and rough and horrible. It's horrible, but I clearly thoroughly enjoyed myself because I got this far. Just love this one. I don't know, it just some things just call to you, don't they? Excuse the pins there. The background is 3865, as you can see there. I have got a little bit of filling in to do. I'm pretty certain that all that is left is 3865. Hang on, I can't see now. Where am I? Where are you? There you go. Yeah, the shading is, there's so few colours in this. The shading's quite blocky close up, but from far away, I think it's awesome. That deserves framing, right? Right? Surely that deserves framing. I'm just trying to work out as well where I haven't stitched. I think there's some stuff at the bottom that needs stitching. Where are we? Yeah, so I've got some more bits at the bottom, and then I think the whole of this side at the top. Yeah, so I haven't done any of that. So yeah, stuff to do. But that's just a bit of mindless stitching, isn't it? A bit of 3865, bit of mindless stitching. Surely that wouldn't take me too long. They're their faces that they're holding. Oh, love it. At some point, I obviously put them together in themes. I now have Christmas stuff to show you. This is Christmas Magic by Little Dove Designs. Okay, if I can show you. This is the pattern. It was a mystery stitch along in a couple of parts. I did not keep up with it, as you'll see in a minute. But it's a really lovely one. Again, it's not going to be taxing. Just to show you as well that the threads come on pre-organised thread cards for you in the kit. Oops. It comes with this lovely polka dot fabric. It's really cute. And a snail house. Needle minder does not come with it. I think I got quite far. I think I got quite far in this one. Most enjoyable, I have to say. Really won't take long to pick that one back up and dash through. I quite like the border as well. Quite like that. So yeah, not far to go on that one. So the penultimate piece to show you today is Lucky Nutcracker by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. It came as part of a mystery sale. I bought the kit. It came as part of a mystery sale, which is why this one's blurred out. And then they released a bit every single month. It looked like this. Looks like this once it's finished. It's all been released. It's really cute. I'm not normally, as you may have seen from some of my WIPs, I'm not normally a kind of cartoony kind of fan, but I do love some of their Caterpillar cross stitch designs with the trees that they have and things. So yeah, this is where I am so far. Not a bad start. Frankly, once you get past the tree, it's all easy going. The tree was the first part released. Oh my god, it just went on forever. Like, it just didn't end. it was so hard. And then yeah, so then I got sort of halfway through the Nutcracker and just decided, right, I've had enough. But I'm, yeah, again, can't wait to pick this one up again. Another one ready for Christmas. And also I saw somebody, I can't remember who it was, I've taken a screenshot of it. If I can credit the person and find their name, I'll put it below. But they had stitched, so they'd stitched it all up and then they had made it into a cushion. And it just looked brilliant, and I thought, that is the one, that is the way I want to do it, perfect. So yeah, that will be part of my Christmas stitching next year. Okay, last but not least, but a bit least, is Noel Sampler by Satsuma Street. This was released in a 4-part mystery sale. Yes, I love it, but I don't know how or why, but I found it really hard. I think that I put this one, the pattern, the first bit of the pattern has 9 stitches. So when you put it into Pattern Keeper, there's a line for 9 stitches which is where the pattern grid is, but then there's another line where the 10 square is in Pattern Keeper. So it was just impossible. It was impossible to count it. I think what I'll probably do if I ever go back to this one is just look at the PDF. I'll just take a picture, just do it on the PDF, not try and be smart and put it into Pattern Keeper. That was the only reason why, and I just found it really hard to count. Also, the amount of colour changes is massive. Not that that's normally a problem, but there's obviously something that I'm not happy about this one. But I got quite far, so I'm not going to take it off the... I've sort of got the hoop with it all pinned around and stuff. I got quite far, really. What count is this? 32, 36, I'm not sure. I'm looking at it now and I quite like it, but I'm not kidding that the whole year I've just been thinking, I think I'll just give it away. I might see how I get on. If I've still got it, if I don't stitch on it by Christmas, or at Christmas, then I'll just give it away to anyone who's interested in it. I don't know. But anyway, that's where I am with this one. So that's it. That should be 32 WIPs if I counted correctly. It's more than I would like, if I'm perfectly honest. So I do need to get cracking on some of these this year. I know which starts I'm going to do, and throughout the year, you know, I've got vague plans for some and very specific plans for others. So I'll definitely be increasing my WIP count. I do want to work on some of those, especially the ones that are very close. I don't know, I'm open now to kind of doing anything, because after working on a drift, it kind of frees up quite a lot of time. So although I have these sort of plans going forward, I will have just a kind of stitch what you want when you want kind of feel, which is really strange for me. If you do have any questions, please put them in the comments below. You can also message me on Instagram at BelushiStitches, and you can also email me. My email address will be below. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.